Like women, they just don't listen. So I swear, every time I hear a woman say, well, every man ain't a leader, duh. Who said they was?
Exactly.
We said men in general, just like women have babies. Duh, you ain't finna say, well, look, you won't never hear no man say, every woman can get pregnant. Duh.
We know that.
You got some women that can't have kids.
That's true.
But guess who have kids in general? Women. Like, this is asinine, bro. And I know I'm animated, but it's like women just don't listen to the stupid stuff they be saying.
But they don't pay attention.
You have women that can't have kids, but we know who has kids in general. Women. But even though you have some women that can't have children. But we still know women hold the realm of having kids and birthing kids. So men, every man can't be leaders. Because men answer to kings too.
She said she wasn't referring to men leading women. She's saying leading in general.
No, that's still big.
point.
Auntie, you're not listening, sweetie. Sweetie, you're not listening.
Just gave an
That's leading my
example.
point. That's why I brought up the kingdom and the citizens in the kingdom. If a man steal a loaf of bread, he has to answer to the king. The king has to make a choice whether he want to cut his hand off or not. Because you know they said back in the kingdom, if you steal, they cut your hand off.
Yeah, exactly.
So guess what? That's a man under the scrutiny of another man.
Right.
Exactly.
That man be like, oh, well, take Joseph's hand off because he stole that bread. You think he finna be like, oh, well, since I'm a man like you, I'm a leader, so you can't cut my hand off. No. He's a citizen in the kingdom, or a peasant, or you know how it was, a peasant or citizen. But though men live in that kingdom along with women. So even though there's a man king, the citizens that are men have to answer to that man that's in power. So all those men in that kingdom, they're not kings, they citizens. So the man and the woman both have to say, hey, we got to talk to the king. They both have to answer to a king. Now the king is a man, but the king is also over other men. By y'all logic, there shouldn't be no citizens or peasants because every man should be a leader. Hell, even you have the prince and the king. The prince is under the king. That's a man answering to another man.
Right, exactly.
Like, what is we talking about? So even going back to general, every man is not a man, every man in general is not a leader. But men in general are supposed to be leaders. Meaning, it's 100% men. You might have 50%, no, you have 60% men that I know because there's always more followers than leaders. You'll have 40% leaders out of that 100%. 40% are leaders and 60% is all followers or like citizens. So that's your answer right there. That ain't marriage, like you said. That's just a man living in the kingdom. And if he steals, he has to answer to another man whether he lives or dies. So every man that's a male is not a leader. But men in general are leaders.
Right.
So remember, general means majority. It doesn't mean all.
And that means
don't mean all.
And that means you have 100% of a choice of what leadership you fall under.
Exactly. Right.
So
exactly.
You can't forget that. You make the decision on what leadership you want to go under. It's not saying that every leader is a good leader. Don't get that twisted. But you still have a decision based off that person's actions, not off the words he say, off the actions, as to what leadership you want to go under. You have to remember that. So.
Exactly. So like I was saying about the 300, or when guys go to war, when a man say, charge, he has 300 men that's what? Followers. Those ain't kings and leaders. Those are followers. Now, the man of the 300 army, he's the front of the, he's number one, and he got 300 men behind him. It ain't 300 women behind him. It's 300 men. So all those men are followers of that leader when they're going to war. So that's even more proof that every man can't be a leader. Because why is this one man leading 300 other men?
Because if logically, everybody's like, well, I don't want to follow you because I'm a leader.
Thank you. Well, you know what? Guess what we both are? We're both males, so you can't lead me. Well, you know what? I agree. I got a shield and I'm a man too. You can't lead. No.
Exactly.
So when guys even lead armies into battle and they have 10,000 soldiers, those are 10,000 men that are followers. Like, what are we talking about?
Right.
All those men is not leaders. So that's proof that every man is not a leader. But between male versus female, which gender is supposed to lead? It's male. And male doesn't mean every man. It just means males versus women. A man is supposed to lead and a woman is not. But y'all think just because we say men are supposed to lead, they get like, oh, literally count every baby that's a male, every teenager that's a male, every adult that's a male. Oh, y'all supposed to be leaders then because y'all male. Nobody ever said that. It just means men in general is supposed to lead, but every man is not a leader. Just like every woman can have kids, but every woman has the ability to have kids, but every woman can't have kids. Yeah. But when you think of childbirth about whose stomach get big and what baby come out, do you think of a woman or a man?
A woman.
Woman, because women birth children.
Right.
But you got women that can't have kids. Mm-hmm. Now guess what? Is she not a woman because she can't have kids? She's still a woman. Yeah. She just can't have children. So we don't be like, well, since she's a woman, every woman should have kids. What about the ones that can't, well, punch them in the head until they can get pregnant? Like, no. Some just can't have kids. But we know women have kids.
Right.
So men are supposed to be leaders, but every man ain't a leader. You got a lot of degenerates. You got a lot, like I said, when you go to war, you got one leader and 10,000 troops that are all men. So all of those guys are following that man. All those guys are following that one man. Because it ain't 10,000 leaders, it's one leader with 10,000 men.
Can't go that way.
You can't make it more plain than that. But okay.
So good point, Tony. Good point. About these comments, I can't get to all the comments. If somebody's talking and making a point, I just can't cut them off all the time and say, well, such and such said this. But I do see the comments, and if I can read them off, I would. So don't take no offense to it if I don't get to your comment. She said that was the old one. She said she get a general statement overall, no matter the sex of whom him is leading.
Well, wait, huh? Who said that?
That's Pickable.
What, say it again? Read it again.
She said, okay.
Oh, so she said she gets it. Oh, she gets it. Okay, because I'm like, what is she? Okay, yeah, exactly. That's all we're saying.
Yeah, she was listening, responding to what you were saying, Tony. These are older comments.
Oh, okay. So I think does it pick up slow?
It picks up slow sometimes, yeah.
Okay.
Wait. She said this to me again. She said, "Are you speaking to justify that? I'm sorry, not that. Are you speaking to justify what men and women are capable of doing? To whom is leading?" She was referring to. She asked you a question.
Okay, say it again.
Am I
what justifying what?
Speaking to justify what men and women are capable of doing?
What does she mean? Like men and women that are capable of leading?
Yeah, I guess so. You're talking about leading?
Yeah. What does she mean?
Whom he is leading. So yeah, I guess so.
I ain't gonna lie. That question don't make sense. Because does she mean when she says capable of doing that? That's basically. It seemed like.
I think she's asking.
What does she mean?
I think she's. Let me know if this is right, Peekaboo.
Can she do the video thing?
Yeah, Peekaboo call.
Yeah, because I'm like.
Oh, is she right here?
Yeah, please.
Because I don't want to make no assumption. But it seems to me that she's asking you, saying you speaking for men and women, who could be capable of leading. That's what it's crazy.
Good luck. We'd rather hear her say
something. I mixed up.
Okay, about to add her in now. She's coming in 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm calling her phone. I don't know what she. Oh, there she go. Okay. Hello? Oh, right. Hello?
You got a live call.
Can I what? Oh, yeah. You know what? Hold on a second. Hold on. This is on my Bluetooth, man. I thought I cut that plastic. Say it again.
I said, can you hear me?
There we go. We can hear you now. We can hear you.
All right.
Okay, so what I was saying, when I said all men aren't good leaders, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I was listening to what you were saying. You were saying something to the point that I was saying, I guess if me referring to me saying all men are leaders. I'm not saying that they are not supposed to be, because that's their role. They are supposed to lead, but all men don't make good leaders. That's what I was saying. I'm like, I am listening to you, and I understand. I get what you're saying. Then you start saying like, well, men are supposed to lead, and you have some women. You have women that are supposed to have babies, but women can't. Some women cannot have babies, and that is true.
Exactly.
So I would say, are you speaking to justify what it is that women and men cannot do at this point? Because now it's like you're trying to justify what we are supposed to do in our role. Like as a man, God made. And don't get me wrong, I'm not questioning God. I was saying if God made men, I was asking you all a question. If God made the man who's supposed to be the leader, why is he not standing in his role?
Okay,
such? That's the question.
And I ain't trying to be funny. Pico actually answered it earlier. That's how. I don't know if you just didn't listen.
I had just jumped on. Really.
Okay, well I'm gonna repeat.
I came in like, what's the topic?
I'm gonna repeat.
I'm
gonna repeat what he said. He said.
Okay.
When the woman, when she agrees to take when a man say, will you marry me? And she be like, yeah. And she takes his last name. They are like now, since she agreed to marry him, because remember, you can ask to marry, but she can say no or whatever. But if she agrees to marry him, he is the leader of her now, because he's responsible for her. So since that's marriage, because they took it that far to go to that step, If it's not marriage, and it's just like, that's why I love what you said about the generalities in life, because a man can he can be single, but he has to be a leader in his own life, meaning he got to make sound decisions. He got to, he's not leading nobody but himself. But if a woman gets with the man and she like, I want to be your wife, and he like, okay, you're gonna be my wife, and she like, cool, I want you to be my husband, and she takes his name. She like she's signing under God to be like, okay, that's gonna be my leader because I agreed to go with this. So
and she agreed to his leadership, correct?
Yeah, exactly. She's compliant to his leadership.
Okay. Right.
So,
but I wasn't talking about. Excuse me. I wasn't saying, and I was speaking in general because I don't watch those movies, Troy and 300 and all that. Of course, a man is leading a pack, so he's leading a pack of men.
Thank you. Exactly.
I get that.
Exactly.
I was just speaking in general. I wasn't talking the sex of whom he's leading. I was just speaking in general, like him being a good leader to men and women. He may not have. You have to be a great decision maker. You have to make decisions in a split second to have leadership.
Exactly. But that's why the reason kind of what you're saying don't make sense because notice what you said. You said, well, I get the whole guy in a pack. He's leading the army, and you said, well, I'm talking about in general. Men are not leading armies in general, and I don't mean literally. I mean like even figuratively. They're leading their.
Of course, those movies.
Right, yeah, but they're living. So now when you say general, meaning just us going to work, a guy is living his life. We all have eyes. My parents always say you never know who's watching you. So if I'm making good decisions and I'm not doing it in front of nobody and I'm just living my life and somebody's observing me, I'm not leading them. I'm just doing me and they picking up what I'm doing. Like, man, I like how he do stuff. Every time I see him, he don't be on no drama. He make good decisions. So I'm not leading nobody. So that goes back to, so that's not leading. That's not leading. You just being a man and people observing. That's different from somebody leading the army.
Right, you're doing what you generally
You're
do.
doing what you're generally
example.
Exactly. So you're doing, and by you leading by example, the people that you don't even know that's in the bushes looking at you because you over here going to work, somebody's watching you, and they're like, man, they like what they see. That's why you think when you live your life, and somebody walk up to you, they be like, man, I've been watching you for so and so. Remember, and we'll be like for real, like, well, I know you. Oh no, you don't know me, but I be seeing you when you go to the bus. When people be like, I be watching you, you be like, oh damn, okay, well, I didn't thank you, and and they'll give you a compliment because you're not leading them, you just living your life. But they observing it, and they like how you move. Okay. So now, once they see that, that's why they can be like, why do you think you always hear stories like this? I just seen you do this for 2 years, and I see you go to work, and I see you exercise. You inspired me. And that's why we'll be like, well, I'm glad I can help. I was just doing me. Yeah, no, you was doing you, but I was watching you. And now I like what you do, so you inspired me now. That happens all the time. So you just living your life. Yeah. So whoever get inspired by it, they just get inspired. And now what are you doing? You're leading somebody indirectly because it's different when it's direct. Mm-hmm. When you just living your life and you indirectly influence somebody, that's not intentional because you live your life. Right. You can't stop people from observing you. So if they observe you and they better their life, okay, you wasn't intentionally leading them. You were just living. So if they... Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, that was it. Go ahead.
No, so I was talking about I guess I came in the middle. So that's why I was trying to understand what was being said. So I was only able to speak on what I had.
Okay, well, yeah, that's fair. So right. So now I'm breaking it down if you didn't hear the...
So that's why I was like, and when you all was talking about as far as in regards to men being leaders, that's why I'm like, all men aren't leaders. Like you all say that women shouldn't. Like that's not our role. We're not supposed to.
Exactly.
Right? But that's when I went to say, like, okay, so if women are supposed to, then men that are supposed to, why are they not standing in the promise of that?
Okay, wait. Now you changed the question. I like that. But you said for the guys that are supposed to, because once again, if we say general, I already made it clear. Every man that's a male is not a leader. He's just a man. Exactly. He's not a leader though.
Exactly.
I already broke that down already. So now you're saying for the ones who are supposed to, like, who steps into that and they are supposed to lead, you said basically like, why are they falling short or why are they not? Why they not standing on it? Now, because hold on, now that could go different ways. You mean, once again, like if he's a head of a corporation, or you mean relationship? Because I can cut you either way. Which one you want to go?
Okay, so y'all talking about relationships? Or are you?
Of course, like, because since we got that topic off the topic on the YouTube was about relationships, but of course you could branch it. But yeah, the premise was the premise of it was relationships, but of course it can go to like business and like other stuff like that. If you want to say relationships, did you want to talk about with the man and the woman, or just corporation and work, and what do you? Because I can go either way.
Okay, let's talk about. Because I told you I came in on the middle.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Because I know you finna go to relationship, right?
Yes.
Okay, so and that's beautiful. And let's go back to what I said earlier. You can't lead somebody who don't want to be followed, who don't want to follow you. That go back to that's why I said women literally choke on their own words. Independent this, independent that, independent that. And look, and that's what I said. I said I would respect women gangster if they said that and they didn't need no man on the back end. They literally just stood on what they say. So it's funny how you said.
But that's the thing. We do need men, and women should not say that.
But they do.
They do.
That's my point. So since they talk a good game and can't stand on it, which is how you just said about how come when a man, when it's their turn, they don't stand on it. Well, you have to be compliant to be able to want to be led by somebody. And if women claim they don't want nobody to lead them, you can't lead somebody that don't want to be led. So literally that destroys the argument.
It's hard to be led by someone who don't show leadership.
But if
she wants to be, even if that's what she wants. Like, I want to be led. I want this man to be able to do these things. But if he don't show that, it's up to her to marry him.
And guess what? And that go back to what I was saying. That go back to what I was saying earlier. Women want leadership from the knuckleheads rather than they get leadership from who they should be getting from.
I heard that part.
Literally, like, and no matter how you come, I can just be like, okay, I can shut that down because that literally destroys that. Women want the fantasy guy or all the leadership qualities. I want the Disney world, the Disney world, the Disney man world to have that. Or this retarded F-boy that I like, that he makes me tingle, I want him to have those qualities. And since he don't, now I'm mad. No, it's not about what's in your head. So the guys, those guys, it's reality. It's reality. So the real guys is out there. But she like, well, since he don't fit my description mentally of how I think he should look, height and all that, and I don't want him to have, because since he don't look like that, I don't see that in him. Because he's a Ray Ray, he's a Pookie, he robs, and of course I'm going extreme, but I'm just saying, like, if he's a bad guy overall, you want leadership qualities out of a knucklehead that you know is a knucklehead. This is why this goes back to that. That's why I was like,
that's where she feels.
And that's majority of women. Because they pick what they know is bad, and then they want good from what they know is bad. It don't make sense. It just don't. Now, John.
For men that she feel is good, she want great. So it's always something.
Thank you. There's no sense. You can't be satisfied. Because it could be a guy right next door to her. Fit the bill and everything. But once again, we talking about the woman's mind. This guy fits the bill perfect. But since he don't fit the description that I have on my mind of what he should look like when he's doing it, I'm good. Because he ain't what I got in my mind. But this guy that look like The Rock, now he's a terrible person, but since he look like The Rock, I'm going to go with him. And he better, all that stuff I have in my head, he better have all those qualities. And if he don't, I'm going to be mad. What?
So she looking at appearance and not quality.
Yes. That's the thing. And look, and this is why I love calling women out on their crap. When women try to make it look like they're more deeper than what they are, I go for the inside. Don't they say that? And you laugh because you know it's true. This ain't Tony. This is women saying this. I think deeper. I look at the soul. I look at this. They're liars because they actions show that they don't do that. But they'll talk that all day. Because when you got a guy that got the actions of a real one, since you're looking at the superficial, you be like, no, I don't want that. But the whole time, that was what you needed right there. Yeah. So y'all shoot yourself in the foot all the time.
But he was born.
All the time. Oh, he was this, he was that. But you know he was this. He was logic. He was good with finance. But he didn't like he didn't like going ice skating. And the reason I brought that up as an example, I saw a video literally the other day. This girl was married to a guy that was logically sound. He was good with finances. He was good for the future of the family. Do you know she divorced him because she said he didn't like the hobbies I like? And she divorced him. Black woman.
And that be the thing. You're not going to like the same thing that your mate likes.
That's my point.
I'm not saying don't partake in or try, but you're not going to like the same things. You're not going to always like the same things.
I'm going to just say something else too, and this is another thing that women get hung up on. A guy don't have to try. As far as let's just say if a girl's into gardening.
I'm talking about women. I'm talking about because women will be quicker to. Well, I'm not going to say all women. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to say all women because I'm going to be honest. There's things that he's into that I was like, oh. Okay, but that's his thing.
Look.
And I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna try to take a liking to it. Certain movies, certain things.
Now guess what?
Like, maybe I do like it.
And guess what? And this is why this is so beautiful. When you be like, let me try to take a liking to what he wants. Guess what you just made? A choice.
I made a conscious decision.
So with that being said, because you know, like I have my ex, I have different girls I deal with. Like she was in the gardening, you know. I'm like I'm not into that. Mm-hmm. So rather than her just saying, well, you know what, because she crack a joke, I'm gonna get you into it. I'm like, that's not my thing. Like stop, that's not my thing. Mm-hmm. And I would say it nice. She made a big thing. I'm like, I'm not into that. Now I'm a guy. I was her boyfriend. I like games or like movies, you know, a little whatever guy stuff. Let's just say I'm doing my thing, watching the game, or I'm doing some man in my business, and she comes in there. She just happened to come in there, and for the fact, like, she just gonna sit there for 5 minutes and she just watching it. And she actually like what she see. Like, man, I'm not into this, but now that I'm looking at it, she made a conscious choice to be like, okay, now since he liked this anyway, I didn't know it was this dope. So now I'm gonna start liking it. So it'd be different if she was chilling and I'm like, yo, like what I like right now. How they do to us. If she never would have came in the room and sat there for 5 minutes and watched me do my thing, do you know I'm not finna make a big deal? I'd be like, hey, babe, you know this is my time for my little football thing, right? That's what I do. I'm not finna be mad because she don't like that. But women will get mad when you don't like what they do. And it's like, come on, bro, we grown. Don't do that. If I'm not into that, stop trying to make me be into that. And that's y'all problem. Guys don't do that. What guys be saying, babe? That's why you hear to say, I'm in the den. Because I'm not going to bring you into my world. Now, if I'm in my world and you observe it and you genuinely like it, you made a choice that, well, since I genuinely like it, I'm going to just rock with you. But that's a choice.
But women, we also like, even if he don't participate, we just want you to be observant and acknowledge sometimes. Just certain times, just acknowledge it. Like, oh, I see you into blah, blah, blah. Well, you did this. Oh, and that's cool. That's cool. I'm not trying. I got to cut you there. I got to cut you there. That's BS. Because I know a lot of guys that talk about their girl. They be like, oh, man, my girl, she paints. She this. Niggas acknowledge. But women don't stop there. They don't stop there. I'm not saying all men don't. I'm saying a lot of men don't acknowledge certain things. And there's a lot of women probably don't acknowledge certain things either that their mate is doing. So I mean that's vice versa.
I get it, but I will say this: all the guys I'm not finna sit up here and play this small number that a small amount of guys acknowledge. No, it's actually more often than not. Because like I said, the reason I know this because I've heard guys countless times they'll brag about the stuff their girl like. Now they're not into it, but they be like, oh man, she's a painter. She does this. She does this. They're bragging about what she likes doing, and they will leave it at that. The reason it goes into a shitstorm is because even though he acknowledged it, the girl don't leave it at that. Oh yeah, you should do this too. He be like, well, nah, man, I know you. I see you doing your little thing. You got your little gallery. We'll post like, man, she doing her thing. But rather than her just saying, man, thank you, babe, for even liking it, they're like, okay, well, since he like it, that's level one. Now I'm gonna try to like slowly bring him into it, and then if he don't like it, then he be like, well, nah, babe, I peep you doing your thing, but I'm not into that. But then once he'll say that, they get mad. Well, you should and it's like, no, I peep you doing your thing. That's you doing your thing. Why must I like?
If he don't acknowledge it to her, it's different to acknowledge it to someone else. Like, oh, my girl does this, my girl does that. But if she don't know, you even validated, like, oh yeah, I see what you doing. Then it's like to her.
See, look, see, and this is the problem. This is the problem because this is little stuff that don't matter. Because let's just say I can tell my girl, no, but I'm saying, but that lets you know people put emphasis on the wrong thing. Because if my job is to be like my girl is she's like a glimmer of hope and I can brag about her. If I just told you, oh man, I know you paint this stuff, and it's funny because oh my God, I've seen stuff like this with guys. No, hold on, let me finish. No, let me finish. Because that's why I just said oh my God because I've had guys like literally like pissed off because they went through this. They will talk to their girl about the stuff that she like to do. And so, like you said, the acknowledging of her. So they'll tell her like, hey, man, I didn't know you be, man, or you a good drawer or whatever she do. You could, they'll say it to her.
Okay.
That's not enough. Because now you would think it would be, right? Because he's telling her. So when they go into the world, do you know, why you be telling me about it? Like, it's now you got to showcase me. But you would think, well, the showcasing don't matter because this is one-on-one. I'm telling you. I've known guys that done that, and the girl be like, "And you know this? Why you don't post this about? Why don't you post what I do on Instagram? Oh, babe, it's me and you. I know that you cold at this. This is me. Oh, well, how come you don't ever show it off and post? You be like, so now you want me to show the world, but you would think it's more integral because in personal. Yes. So they go back to the thing they can't be satisfied because I've known guys that done that, and the girl like, well, that's cool, but you need to show me off to everybody. And the guy was like, well, if it's just a me and you thing, it's me. I know that you do this. This is between us. It's like, oh no, now you got to showcase me. But then you got the brothers that do be like, man, my girl do this. Oh, she like, well, since he don't say it to me, I'm mad. You can't win, bro. You can't win. Because I've seen brothers that do that. And you know girls do that. Oh, how come well, post this? Well, babe, this intimate. This me and you. No, let's post it. So why everybody got to see it? You can't win.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
And thank you. I see that little smile. You like, he got me. Because you know they do that. They will brag to their... Yes, they will brag to their friends. Well, the guy will brag to like different people about the girl. She'll get mad at that because it ain't one-on-one. Then the brothers that be like, one-on-one, why you ain't telling the world? What, how come you don't post me doing this or post, how come you don't show me off? You be like, bro, you can't.
Damned if I do, damned if I don't.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right.
Bye-bye.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Y'all funny, man. That's good.
Yeah.
Tone twice again.
So, did I answer your question?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I mean, I told you I came in like on the middle.
Yeah, I know. I seen when you came in.
Yeah.
And what my food?
Right, so I was like trying to listen. I'm like, what's the topic?
The topic is what my food.
You'll get your food when you
You
fix
should-
this
you
damn door.
No, I'm just playing. But thanks for calling in. Appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Yeah, appreciate it,
All right.
Auntie.
All right.
All right,
All right.
love you.
All
That was
right,
nice.
love y'all.
Right.
Yeah, how you too?
All right, bye.
That was cool.
Turn me off.
I'm trying. Rap, how do you cut this?
Well,
thing
you just
off?
call it, right? You just,
Yeah,
does it
I'm
hang
doing
up or you got to
I
do
think
it on
that's
live?
on the move, right?
Oh, I don't know how that.
You gotta hang up.
Oh, she got to do it.
You trying?
Oh, it's not letting me do it. Hang up. There we go. There we go. Trina said, I don't even know if they're still on, but there are so many women that don't take their husband name, which to me is disrespectful.
That's very, yes,
Yeah,
it
I
is.
heard
Or
that
you ever
too.
see the hyphen ones?
Yes.
Something slash, like hyphen
Yeah.
or something slash, picket slash, there. And it's like,
Yeah, man,
which means
this
you
is-
kind of still keep you'll keep the other husband last name while you married to the new one. Because girls be putting hyphens or dashes in their name
Or they'll
too.
just keep their last name.
Yeah, and I'll be like, that's what the, it's crazy, bro.
It's disrespect.
That's crazy.
It's so disrespectful.
Yeah.
When you marry somebody, you can't have two last names.
You sure can.
Nobody has two last names.
Take
So
on the
yeah,
name
if it's
of the
just
husband.
Tony Percat, it'll be Lisa Wendy Williamson Percat. No.
And I've seen stuff like that. I was
And-
like, why she got 3 last names?
And some people say, well, you know what? She used it for business purposes. We have to realize one thing. Your husband is before anything. Business,
Oh yeah.
pleasure, children. Man is before, and if a man marries a woman, that man is the only thing that's in her life that's pretty much her being now. So that's why you got some women put their kids before the husband. That's wrong too. You can't put something.
That's true.
You can't put something in front of something that's have to teach you how to do stuff. You can't do that. That's like putting Jesus in front of God. You know, God's the creator, Jesus the son.
Mm-hmm.
We've never heard, it's not in the Bible, that I've never heard Jesus say, you know what, I'm going to take this position. No, that'd be stupid for him.
Yeah, for real.
So, we got a lot to learn. Women got a lot to learn. Men, I can honestly say, and this isn't a stab at women, but a lot of men are waking up. A lot of them. And I must say, you got some women that's waking up.
You got
You
some.
get-
It's some.
Yeah, you got some women on these platforms that talked a lot of crap, but now they be like, you know what? I wish I never said that. You know, we need each other, not want, need. Because at the end of the day, if we're married and we want this to work, you're gonna need me as much as I need you. You're gonna need me to take care of them bills, ain't you? Or you want me to pay the bill, or you need me to pay the bill. I can't go down to Edison and say, you know what, my wife want me to pay this, but I ain't gonna do it. She want me to do it. No, they're gonna say, well, Mr. Brown, in order for the lights to come on, they ain't gonna say we want you to pay the bill. They're gonna say we need you to pay this bill, bro. Or they'll be off before you get home.
Yeah.
And on the way you get it cut on, you need to pay the bill. So that's pretty much that's gonna be it for the day. That was a great show. Man, hey, Tony back, man. I appreciate it. You missed 2 weeks. Want my dude money, man. No, but yeah, that was a good show. And the next show, I think we're gonna talk about, what was it you were talking about?
Yeah, the second time.
Like black people with ego and everything.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
takeoff thing.
Take off.
Yeah, you know, we all know one of the Migos just passed away. Takeoff. And this topic isn't dedicated to him.
Right.
It's just we were just trying to figure out, why do black people have so much hatred and ego towards each other? So stick around, give us 2 minutes. We'll be back in exactly 2 minutes. So stick around, y'all don't want to miss it. If you like it, hey, don't forget, and also subscribe to my YouTube channels, Pico City, One-on-One Talk, PTSD is all together now. So be sure to subscribe to my channel because I'm gonna start doing a lot of things that's going on YouTube. It won't be on Facebook. So I don't know what you said. Well, you can say it anyway. Just type my name in, but just subscribe, and we'll be back in 2 minutes with the show I just said. I don't know. I can't remember, but we'll be back.